Welcome back to the channel. Okay, the solar adventure has started. Yes, that lovely lady came the other day and discussed with me the technical side of putting the system up and how they want to do it and what I wanted to have done. This is all about how it happened and why I've decided to have solar. I think most of you know this anyway if you've been following me with my renewable energy journey. You know I've got a heat pump fitted now. That heat pump video is on the channel if you want to go and watch it. It's that one there. Very interesting. In fact, it's in two parts. One about me thinking about it and two when it was installed. So go and watch that one on the heat pump side of it for renewables. But this is all about the solar. We decided to go fully green as much as possible and try and get our energy bills not down to zero, but we might do, but as near as we could, because as we're getting older, we've decided that we don't want large bills every month. We'd sooner invest now in the future. Now, as you can realise, there's a payback period on all solar panels. You know, you invest in them, they go on your roof, and then you start earning. But we have not looked at it like that. In fact, to be fair, the payback period, according to the guys fitting this, and the average of sunlight we get here, and the way we use our energy, and the size of the dwelling, etc., etc. Well, that's got to be good, because 8 years and it's all done and dusted. 8 years is full profit every single day until I pass. So if I've got 20 summers left on the planet, well, that's in my favour. But the reality is, it's just to invest in our bills now. In other words, you're kind of like prepaying for electricity. You get that? Now, it's the same as this grant we took with the heat pump. We knew that the grant was going to die sooner or later. Might be this year, might be next, who knows. But it's done and dusted. So now we've got something electrical, i.e. the heat pump, to run every day. So it makes sense to have solar even more now with the heat pump and running an electric vehicle. My journey started when I moved out of the lodge where I used to live, and if you are a fan of the channel, or you're a subscriber of the channel, then you'll know that I've got about 10 or 12 videos and posts purely about what they call lodge life, because I lived in a holiday home lodge for nearly 3 years. Bought it brand new. That's another thing, go and watch them if you want to. But while I was there, I had no option of solar, and this is what drew me to wanting all the green energy that I'm going forward with now. I already had the EV, but the good old EV charger now at Octopus rates of 7p at night, the heat pump, and now the solar. So I'm doing my bit for society and the environment and for myself, because I do believe that it's the best thing you can do. Now, I realise that a lot of people watching this haven't got the money, haven't got the savings, haven't got the benefit of having cash like I've got at the moment, because I'm retired now and I downsized my house to get where I am today. So this money has not been a freebie. I've not been left anything, people. It came from bloody hard work over 40 to 50 years. And so this is why I'm able to have this done now. So I do appreciate some people who are watching this, they will not get to this stage until they get the house paid off and the mortgage done and downsized, or they do it out of savings. But there is one way of doing it. Now, you can be green and still be skint to a point. There are some 0% APR deals, and Octopus, I believe, have one going at the moment for their solar panels. And I'm not, again, selling Octopus to you, but unlike me, who have gone with Glenfield Electrical because I'm paying them cash, you know, the way it is on a bill and an invoice, with Octopus, I believe they're doing this 0% APR thing. So you could actually go forward with solar, and then as it pays for itself, you could pay it back monthly. Now, yes, it might take a fair few years, but you've got to remember you'd be saving a vast amount on your electricity bill. So one will outshine the other, but it's a way of getting solar. Secondly, go for that grant for the heat pump, and any company, not just Octopus, any company that's installing these things will help you do that. So there is a way of getting green energy, or on a budget. According to form, it can add around 3% of value to your home. Now you've got to consider that maybe that might be a good way of putting the solar on, using it for 5 years, and it gains 3% of your property value. That's another thing. I'm not going to go into that today on this channel, but keep it in mind. Well, good morning all. It's install day. It is 6:30 a.m. Literally just fell out of bed, and yeah, stuff to do. So quick cup of tea, get some breakfast, get the car shifted and everything else to do. So I wish it was an easy day like those fish are getting. I'm very excited about it as well. Okay, let's do this. Well, that's a cup of tea down me. A bit happier now, woke up a bit. As you can see, let me just spin you around here. So far on this side where the solar is going, it is shady. Sun is just about to break over the roof line. Now when it comes to about here, anyone on this roof on the hottest day of the year so far is going to know about it. Estimated could be 34 degrees this afternoon, so I think the first thing they'll do as soon as they get here while it's shady is knock that down, put a couple of towels in for me, get on with putting the solar on, the actual panels themselves, before doing the electrics and coming through into here. We'll wait and see, because all the electrics are going on this wall, the batteries and everything else, and that's where the gate finish is. That's where they'll start and put the inverter and everything there. So yeah, let's wait and see. They'll be here in around 20 minutes. The guys have turned up. I'll spin you around and show you what's going on. Obviously these are all the bits and bobs and toolboxes and God knows what, so there's a fair few parts that's going to be used today. There the lads there, ready to rock and roll. Old tiles that are sorted out. They were going to bring some new ones, but got some old ones there that's going to replace, like I said before, that and that there, which is not used anymore on the gas. So yeah, the start is on. Right, this is the first of the Fox batteries that's gone on. That's the other baby there, ready to go on the wall. And there's the panels. Let's have a look. Wow, bigger than I thought. And there's the spec. Cool. A lot bigger than I thought. That's them down now. Look, the old gas job is no longer needed. No gas into this house anymore. Getting the bars on now for the solar panels. Loads going on. Happy days. Happy days. Well, this is 2 Fox batteries on now, by the way, on the wall. Inverter is there, ready to go. Still all busy stuff. Into a junction of a 32 amp on the fuse box. And it goes directly out. It'll go across the wood and then across over to there. So yeah, well, that's coming together now. Looking good. You enjoying this, son?
Loving it.
Loving it. Wow.
You'll enjoy it more when you see your bills.
Yeah, exactly. The more the merrier. Yeah, that's what I say.
Right, got a couple more. So attach these to the ends there.
Yep.
I'm going to put some panels on.
Oh, can't wait for that. I'll be back out to watch you do that magic. I was just saying earlier on how big they look when they're on the floor.
You see them knocking about now. You've got the same size as them, but they're a lot smaller ones. The same size as these ones here.
They're quite old style now, though, ain't they? Them across the way there.
You're right, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Cool. Magic. Can't wait for them to go on. Okay, quick update where we are with the lads. As you can see behind me, first solar panel going up, which is cool. Very dark, very black. And there now you can see the frontal one. from top to bottom. Give you a close-up of that. Completely different from those you can see there, which are very dated now. Number 1 of 13.
Because I don't know if they're bang on. They're not bang on. Yeah. Although that top corner doesn't.
Yeah, like you say, if you get that first one wrong, the rest are going to look.
The rest are on, yeah, everyone. But you can't go off with it. It's hard what to use as a reference point. You can't use the rail because that's not a true reference point. You can't use the gutter. That's not a true reference point. You can't use the edge of the thing. It's quite hard.
Now let me take you up into the loft here to show you what they're doing up here. Not a great deal, but let's have a look. This is what Octopus Energy did. All this copper piping that goes all the way down there and everything. That's all Octopus Energy. All these cables as well on here. They're all Octopus Energy. But around here, yeah, if you can see that, a bit of light coming through. That's where they've led out their cabling for the, obviously, solar panels. And now the pipe that was there, the gas pipe, the flue, that's all gone off and wrapped up now, and the other one as well over here. You still see the pipe there, look, if you look very closely. So yeah, apart from a couple more cables going through that gap there like those are, that'll be it up here, I think. So yeah, oof, it is hot. I think it's time to get down. It's too hot up here for me. I'm out of here. Well, we have 2 more to go. The baby's here. Yeah. Whoa, wow, that is bloody boiling. So yeah, 2 more to go, and all the solar is on the roof. Well, we have all the panels up now, as you can see, 13 in total, and they've followed the line down one side, obviously to keep it nice and straight and parallel. Power's back on, so that's good. So here we are, job complete. Well, I say complete, there is one thing that has not been done. I'll show you that in just a moment, but there's your Fox batteries, 2 of them, equating to about 10.1 kilowatt hour. LifePro batteries, of course, by Fox. Inverter, shouldn't have to touch that ever. No need to mess with it. You've got your on and off, you've got your isolator. You've also got your gauge to see how many kilowatt hours you're actually producing. Very simple, so I'm not really going to go through that. You know, there's not a lot to do. They all set that up for me. This is something that I didn't know they put up. Again, that's the company I've used. Look, Glenfield Electric. By all means, if you go with them and mention my name, it will be well worth doing. Tell them you've got it from KKNEV and they'll know who I am. But yes, they put this up for emergency cases and to give you a guide on how to use it in an emergency. So quite clever, quite good. I don't know if that's by law now. Inverter. I think you can see all the details. I'm not sure if you can see all them there, look. Now what they've done here, this goes in obviously to the main electrics, and they've had to put this in the same as Octopus Energy did for my heat pump. This goes up into here. I've used the EV charger as well, and then come through the wall here, out of the fuse box, because it's got its own fuse now in my main fuse box in the kitchen, and they've relayed it across there and down there into the isolator, which is cool, I have no problem with. And the earthing side of it is a massive, very long earthing rod into the ground, which is now goes, you know, it follows up there, and that's the earth cable. along into there. So yeah, that's the basics of it on the inside. Now let me take you outside to show you how it looks now they've finished it. But that's the finished product, although I say finished, it isn't, because what they've got to do now is come back, and if you look carefully here, you'll see that there's no bird protection along the bottom. Well, they're coming back to do that because they came with the netting, but they didn't put the clips on board. Someone failed miserably there, but no big deal. They're going to come back and do it at their time. Even if I'm not in, they can just go up there and do that. So that is it. So now I'll show you the software that came with it, or should I say the app, and tell you what I think about it. So we'll have a chat. Now before I do, that is the spec of the batteries. Oh, and you've got the, that's always live, two 240 outlets to run anywhere in the property, anywhere outside if there's a power cut, and that will all obviously use the 10 or more from the battery pack, so excellento. Well, there you go. Busy day for the 4 guys that came from Glenfield Electrical Limited, based here in Leicestershire. Super hot day, so let's bring this all together where we are now on this. I am very glad I was not one of those guys up on that roof. They did take breaks, they did come down, they did have a good old drink, and I offered them plenty of fluid in the respect of water, coffee and tea. So they were well looked after here at KK and EV. Big thank you goes out to Glenfield Electrical. Did a great job, the lads were very good. Had a bit of banter with them, which I quite enjoy. I know some people don't like that, but I do. I'm a banter boy from back in the day in my factory work and everything else, so I got that out of them today. Kept them sweet, like I say, with drinks. So yeah, a job well done to you all there. Tom was the main man who was looking after everybody, and he was the one who commissioned it for me and went through the last few bits and bobs of the app and set up the app with me and everything else, and I'll show you the app. Very basic, but it does the job. Now, it's called the Foxcloud 2, as you can see there. It is version 2. As you can see here, it's pretty much a basic app, but it gives you all the information you need. This scenario here is my bungalow, and it's saying how much is coming in, how much is going out, how much I'm taking off the grid, or if any at all, how much I'm putting in my batteries and everything else. And then you can go back and look at the information anytime you require during the day. Now the good thing is you can control it so that you can turn off input from the grid at certain times of day. So basically you won't take anything off the grid unless you really want it to. It is very useful, and I'm on it 4 or 5 times a day. It does become a bit of a want more attitude, and so you're thinking to yourself, how can I maximize this out, what's it doing now, how much am I making, etc, etc. It does actually give you as well the money you're giving back to the grid, and how much in pounds sterling you've actually made. How true that's going to be, I don't know as yet. It should be 15p for every kilowatt hour that I send back to the grid. How much my batteries need as well, and it tells you how full the batteries are. So it's a fair good little app. I'm maybe knocking it down a bit, and I shouldn't do, but yeah, that's it. That's the app. Now here is the ultimate screen, people. My PV panels there, the solar panels, you can see that at the top there, cracking in a good 6.01 kilowatts. That's nearly maxing out, every panel being 475 in wattage. The grid itself is taking from me 5.43 kilowatts straight direct back to the grid, which I'm getting paid for. And then on top of that, I'm using a tiny bit into the house. So that is all totally free from the sun. And if you notice, the batteries are fully charged at 100%. So that is the ultimate goal. That is the ultimate screen to get every time you look at it in midsummer. Brilliant. If I could get that every day of the year, wow, I would be paid back about £350 from the national grid. We all know it doesn't work like that in the winter, but in the summer, that's the ultimate screen. So, all still good there. I think I mentioned yesterday that they're going to come and put the bird protective all the way around it when we're not here. Take them about an hour. Anyway, by the by. So, I have the vehicle now on charge. Currently 53%, charging at 7.9, does that say? 7.8 kilowatts an hour out of the Homey. Again, like I say, it's not on the cheap night rate. It is now early morning. I say early morning, about 9 o'clock. But I'm trying this to see what happens regarding the app and what happens with the batteries when I'm charging this, and it is exactly what I assumed. Basically, the car is now on charge, so as it's charging, it's as cheap as it is, if not cheaper than 7p at night if I'm willing to use my batteries. Don't forget, yesterday all the power in those batteries were free. It came from the sun. They got charged up from my solar. So this just over 10 kilowatts sitting in there. So the idea being, while this is charging now, okay, the Tesla, what it's actually doing is using the batteries a very tiny amount off the grid and whatever my solar's picking up. I'm going to round the figures off. So let's say it's charging at 7. The solar's popping in around 1.5, okay, so of the power down into my system, down into my batteries. My batteries are showing that it's pulling around something in the region of about 5.5. So really, this is costing me nothing from the grid. Now, I did check on the app, and it does say I'm pulling a tiny bit off the grid at the moment, but it's around 30 watts or whatever. That's purely because we're using stuff in the house as well, don't forget. So at the moment, this baby here is being charged for free because of the solar. Just that tiny bit being bought in makes a difference of it coming off the grid or using the batteries and the solar put together to charge this. Marvellous. Now you're thinking, well, hold on, Kevin, you're going to deplete your batteries. Well, I'm not really bothered. They'll go down to a minimum. I've got them set to a minimum of 15%. Now, at 15%, they won't let any more come out of them anyway. Then the grid would kick in. I did notice yesterday, I did send some back to the grid already. So that's great. So I'm expecting a bit more sun today and to make up and charge them batteries while we're away in this on a bit of a road trip today. So yeah, that's the idea. So great. So far, amazed. Well, that's it, people. Hope you enjoyed this one about my solar. I'm going to have a lot more to put on about this as time goes on, and I will point out any bad things as well, so look out for this. Keep in touch, keep watching KK and EV. I hope it's been informative. I always say that because what's the point of doing these if they're not informative? I might have got a few things wrong here. If you've got solar and you want to better my conversation about this or comment, please do below. Solar is all new to me and I'm enjoying the experience. So I'll leave it there. I'll say goodbye. And if you're not subscribed where you've been, you should be by now to KK and EV. Please do. And if you're already subscribed and you've not done it yet, click on that little bell icon so that when the next video comes out, you get it. It helps the analytics. Thanks for watching, people. Hope you enjoyed it. Like I say, what's coming up next? Let me think about this one. Oh, I'm out of the country for a while, and then it's the big auto show I'm going to, the British Auto Show in Farnborough. So look out, and if you're going to be there, come and say hello to me. Anyway, I'm finishing this one. Bye for now.